guys, today we will be discussing the Creditors Journal. So the Creditors Journal are used to record credit purchases. These are purchases that are made but not yet paid. The debt is still owed to supplier. Creditors purchases are different from cash purchases, which are recorded directly into the Cash Purchase Journal. With a cash purchase, payment is made at the same time that the purchase transaction occurs, and the source document we use that is used for the purchase on credit or the original supplier invoice, also known as a credit invoice, and the goods received note. The information from this document is then recorded into the creditor's journal. The trade creditors account are updated from the creditors journal as well as the purchase amount or other expenses. The affected accounts are: you debit the purchase account, you also debit VAT input, and you credit trade creditors account, because we know that this is still a liability for us. At the end of the month, all the columns in the Creditors Journal are added up vertically. To double check to make sure that you've calculated this correctly, we can always crosscast horizontally and vertically. So from here, if you look at the beginning, we see that first you'll complete the document number. So this column reflects the supplier's credit invoice number. The numbers do not run in sequence as the invoices are generated and used by a number of a different supplier or creditors. These invoice numbers help you trace the invoice and case queries. So we don't give out the case numbers, and this is from different companies, so it will not run in sequence. Then we have the date. So this column just reflects the date of the invoice. Then the details, which reflects the name of the creditor. Then we have the folio. This is a reference column, the general account number of the relevant account to where the amount is posted is written here. The number is used as a cross-reference. Then we have the trade creditors. This column reflects the total amount of the invoices, inclusive of the VAT. The total of this column reflects the total purchases from the creditors from the current month, so the total cost. Then after that we have the VAT input account, and this reflects the VAT input portion of the credit invoice. As goods have been received into the business, if the supplier invoice is issued exclusive of VAT, then VAT portion must be calculated by the recipient. Please note that only VAT that is claimable is reflected in this column. This means that VAT charges on goods and services that are specifically excluded are not recorded in this column. As you can see with BP Garage and petrol, we know that we don't claim VAT on petrol. Then we have the purchase or inventory column, and this column records the credit purchase or inventory of a business after deducting the claimable VAT portion. A separate column will be used for each major type of purchases bought by the business. A purchase are goods bought with the intention of reselling them. The total amount in these columns is the amount spent by the business for resale purposes in that month. So anything that they're going to resell is in this column. Then we have the sundries account, and this account reflects other goods and services purchased during the month. The account is reflected in one column and the details in the other column. It will be impossible to have separate columns under purchases for each type of transaction, so we just have a general account that is used to accommodate any type of transaction that cannot be allocated to the purchase column. And as you can see here, we've got stationery and petrol, and we just write the details in the details to where that is going to be paid to.
So, from the Creditors Journal, we know that we owe £8,227 to creditors, but it's important to know that we owe £3,000 to Mr. Bosby and £2,700 to Mr. Clive. It's important to know what we owe each individual member. And this, because come payday, you can't just write a check for £8,227 to pay all your creditors. You need to write a check to pay them all individually. And the sub-general ledger will help us to balance our credit journal at all times.